How's it going, everyone? My name is Sean Stark, student athlete for Winamac High School, and you're listening to Winamac Athletic Podcast.
Welcome to the Winamac Athletic Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Riverside Rentals. Discover canoeing, kayaking, and lazy river tubing right here in Winamac. Action Plumbing and Heating for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Been serving people since 1994. And now, the voice of the Winamac Athletic Podcast, Justin Ruff.
Hello. Welcome to episode 4 of the Winamac Athletic Podcast, bringing you closer and closer to Winamac Athletics, an inside look to the athletic program, communicating with players, coaches, Winamac alums. How's it going, everyone? My name is Justin Ruff, Winamac alum, and the voice of the Winamac Athletic Podcast. Today, we're continuing our exciting new tradition. This is the Winamac Athletic Podcast. A big shout out to our band director, Mrs. Sutton, and the Winamac Band for their fantastic performance once again for this show's intro. I'm absolutely thrilled to be back with everyone today on this exciting podcast journey. Well, we'll explore every aspect of Winamac Athletics, highlighting both the boys and girls programs. Let's look forward to a new episode to drop every Tuesday, and starting next month, no big deal, keep an eye out for our Throwback Thursday episodes featuring our Winamac alumni who've been through it all with our Winamac jersey on. Join us as we bring you closer to the heart of Winamac Athletics. Tune into our podcast, available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to us. Follow us on social media. We have a lot of them. We have Instagram. We have Facebook. We have Twitter, X, and YouTube. We also have a TikTok. Yes, no big deal. Go ahead and follow those social media platforms for exclusive Winamac Athletic content. Your support means the world to us, so don't forget to subscribe, leave us a rating, or drop a comment, even if my voice puts you to sleep. Every interaction is valuable to us. If you like to hear and listen to enjoyable things, then this is the episode for you. No big deal. Not only do we have a fall head coach join us today to take us through their coaching journey, explore the history of their sport, introduce their talented roster, and share their goals for the upcoming 24 season, but we'll also hear from a dedicated athlete in that same sport to go through the similar things, their experiences, activities, goals, and future plans. But additionally, we're thrilled to have another head coach join us who just recently started their 2024 season yesterday, coming on the show to discuss how their season premiere went. No big deal. But before we dive into all things of Winamac soccer, which I'm incredibly excited about, we need to catch up with the head coach of the Winamac Lady Warriors golf team. Coach Shell will fill us in on their performance at yesterday's first invite of the year. No big deal, so stay tuned. Next up, we'll have Coach Shell with us to give us the inside scoop on their season opener. Don't you go anywhere, you're doing it. You're listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Jeremy Shell, head coach for the Winamac golf team, and you're listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast.
Welcome back, and thank you for listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast. I am joined by Coach Jeremy Shell, the head coach for the Winamac Warrior golf team. Coach, you just had your first invite, no big deal. Talk to us. We want to know every detail about your squad, your girls that participated in the Kankakee Invite. Talk about that and talk about who was all involved. What teams were involved in this invite that you just went to yesterday?
Hey, Justin, thanks for having me back on. Yeah, so like we discussed previously, we definitely took a pretty inexperienced team over there. I had 3 girls that had never played 18 holes, and, taking them to a course like Sandy Pines is pretty daunting. So we showed up and had a 2-hour rain delay, which really didn't help the girls' nerves. But, as the round progressed, they really settled in and played some pretty solid golf. The scores weren't really what we wanted to see out of a couple of the girls that are experienced, but some of the girls that don't quite have that experience really performed well, posted some good numbers. This is one we go to, even the team we had last year, a solid team. When you're going to one like this, it's almost the regional lineup is what you would see here. So there's a lot of tough teams, a lot of bigger schools. But yeah, overall, very pleased with the outcome. So a lot of good stuff from all the girls, really. Sierra played really well. I think down the stretch, the heat kind of got to her, and she kind of faded on the back 9. Hunter Hines she was kind of hit or miss today. Played some really good golf, and then had some holes that just kind of got away from her. But again, that's Sandy Pines. I mean, this course is tough. If you don't bring your A game, there's some holes that are going to get you. So, yeah, overall, I would say very positive. Really looking forward to going to Curtis Creek.
That's awesome. That's awesome stuff. And I guarantee that your girls will, continue to improve. But you don't have much time. You don't have many nights to sleep until your next match, and that's actually today at 9 a.m. Rensselaer at the Rensselaer Invite. Let's talk about that. What you know about that Rensselaer course? Is it easier than the Kankakee Valley course? And will your girls kind of jump on that and do better than they did today?
Yeah, so Curtis Creek is it's kind of a tough little course, but it's definitely, in my opinion, it's a lot easier track than Sandy Pines. What kind of helps us there is it kind of has a Moss Creek vibe. There's a creek that runs through it. So, you're hitting over this creek. It doesn't have a lot of length. Sandy Pines is kind of a longer course, has some water, has a lot of sand, a lot of trees. So, yeah, Curtis Creek kind of fits our game a little better than Sandy Pines does. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Still kind of in the same boat. This is more of I would say like a scrimmage for us, right? Like preseason. So this is just, getting the girls in there, getting some experience, and trying to get as many reps as possible as the season goes on, kind of preparing us for conference and then the state tournament.
Right. And, your schedule has changed a little bit since the last time we talked. You had one on Monday, you had one on Tuesday. You had another one on Thursday against, I believe, the Logan Sport Invite, and you had another one on Saturday. But I do believe it's changed a little bit. Can you give us a refresher on your updated schedule?
Yeah, so the 2 main changes would be our meet that was scheduled for this Thursday at Chesterton. It got bumped to, I believe, next Monday. That one, to me, is pretty beneficial. The first week of school, when you jam-pack this many events in, plus the kids going back to school, it can wear them down. So that one's not too bad. However, the Logan Sport Invitational at Dykeman Saturday, we are not going to get to play in that one. That one kind of stinks because, you want to try to get as many invitationals in throughout the season as you can. That kind of prepares you for your conference tournament and sectionals. But yeah, we'll just fill it with a practice, and yeah, we'll get ourselves ready that way.
Hey, I appreciate this, Coach. I appreciate this a lot. Thanks for spending some time with us. Give us a refresher on how today went. Do you have, and good luck tomorrow. Do you have any last words or comments to share with us today?
Yeah, I just want to add that we did pick up 2 new additions to the roster, which is pretty exciting. We got a sophomore in Bria Conley. So she's a softball player, pretty athletic kid. So looking forward to seeing what she can do. And then senior and Emily Weaver, super athletic kid. You know, she came to a practice and was just absolutely flushing a golf ball. So pretty excited to get her out there and get her some reps and see what she can do. But yeah, again, I appreciate what you're doing here and what you're doing for Winamac Athletics, and appreciate you having us on, man. Looking forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks.
That was Coach Jeremy Schell, the head coach for the Winamac Lady Golf Team. And now let's go ahead and welcome our second guest of the day, Mr. Carlos Badillo, the head coach of the Winamac Warriors soccer team. Coach Badillo is kicking off his first year as the head coach for the Warriors soccer program. Stay tuned as we sit down with him, Coach Badillo, to dive into the exciting prospects of the upcoming 2024 fall season. You're doing it. You're listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast.
It's time for the Warrior Coach of the Day. Let's return to the voice of the Winamac Athletic Podcast, Justin Ruff.
Welcome back to the Winamac Athletic Podcast, the fourth episode. Today, we're excited to welcome Coach Carlos Badillo, the head coach leading our Warrior soccer team. How's it going, Coach? Thanks a lot for joining us today.
Doing great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now, this is a great opportunity, fantastic opportunity, Coach, for our listeners to get to know you a little bit better, your background, your journey, but also it's a great opportunity for podcast hosts to get to know you a little bit better. The only thing I know, you coach soccer and you work out abroad. I don't really know anything else besides. So mentally, I'm eating some popcorn from the ISIS Theater here in town. Mentally, I can't do it physically because I have to talk. But mentally, I'm enjoying this big time. Okay, is that fair? That's fair. Okay, so like I said, fantastic opportunity. We're going to dive into your background, your journey. So please share us the high school you attended, where you're from, the high school you attended, the year you graduated, and any sports that you participated in.
Okay, well, nobody's really going to know my high school because it's in Mexico City.
Okay,
so
good.
I was born and raised in Mexico City, all the way till I graduated from aeronautical engineering there.
Okay.
But I started playing soccer when I was 4. Loved the sport, and then I combined it with different other sports. Like I played tennis, but I still play soccer. I went to water polo. I did karate. I did several sports, but the main one was always soccer.
Now, is soccer always in fall, or did you do
soccer in Mexico is year round? Nice and warm all year round.
I like it. I like it. That's awesome. Good. Let's move on to your college experience. Now, we kind of talk a little bit off here. I was kind of, I didn't really know about this also, but let's talk about the college that you attended, and were you also involved in activities or ops?
For sure, yeah. I was a student athlete through college. I went to the National Polytechnical Institute in Mexico City. And like I mentioned, I studied aeronautical engineering. I played baseball. I played soccer, obviously, and I played flag football.
Goodness, you did it all, man.
I tried a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, still my main sport's always
your heart was in soccer.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good to know. Now let's explore your career journey post-college. Now, like I mentioned, you're currently employed at Braun Ability. Let's talk about that a little bit, your current job and your coaching career up to this point.
Okay. So I'm leading the vehicle architecture engineering team. So we have advanced engineering, we have continuous improvement, all the engineering around vehicles, which if those of you that don't know, we convert minivans and SUVs to well-accessible vehicles. So that's what I do. But I've been an engineer. I'm working in engineering for the past 25 years. I started my career in the U.S. with GM, General Motors, and then transitioned to a couple of the companies that brought me all the way to Braun for the last 6 years I've been here.
At Braun.
At Braun.
That's awesome. At the current position you are.
Correct.
Awesome. That's awesome. Now, with your journey to Winamac, let's go through that. Actually, so with your coaching in Winamac, let's talk about that journey. the position that you currently have. I know last year you coached the middle school program. Is that correct?
Correct. I started with the middle school program here with the school, but we started with Y, with the gym.
Yeah.
They started doing some, they have their, what is it, spring training, and that's where I started.
Okay.
And then, the rest is history. I'm here in high school now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now you work with Coach Burton, who was the head coach the last several years here for Winamac. Did he just tell you that you were coaching, or did you actually?
No, he actually asked me if I could help him with the middle school.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't know his plan was to get out of high school right after he convinced me to do middle school.
Yeah.
But I love the sport. I enjoy being around soccer. And if I can teach the kids a little bit about what I know about soccer, that'd be great.
And you have a little bit experience, right? Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. That's awesome. All right. Well, let's talk about some Winamac soccer. Okay. Of course, I dug into the history of Winamac soccer just a little bit. I'm
glad you did, because I don't know much. Sorry. I'm very.
That's all right. That's all right. So I spoke with my head coach when I played, Coach Mark Eber. So he was the head coach. He was the very first head coach at Winamac, which I didn't know, which is a really interesting fact. It was a club back in '93, and then he was the assistant coach there, and then it turned a class school, and so he started coaching in '94 and coached for 20 years. Wow. And a cool thing that I thought was cool, Coach Burton took over after Eber, I think 2013, and then you took over after Coach Burton. So you're the third coach.
So no pressure. I got to.
Yeah, I know.
10 years.
It's really cool that Coach Eber, he coached the last or only sectional title team back in 2001. Sorry, and that team is. I know you don't know much about it, but that team, I remember when I was a kid, they had a guy named Kevin Good, and he, in my opinion, should be in the Hall of Fame, because I have the stats right in front of me, Coach, is remarkable. He has four records, 2 in scoring, in season and career. And then he has a record for assists in season and career. If you have those records, you're doing something right.
For sure.
So I just remember him as a kid, and Coach Ebert, they said made it to 5 sectional titles. Coach Burton, I looked, he had several himself too. He had sectional championship, that made it to the sectional championship games. And so we've gotten really close. I know my senior year, we lost the CMA in a championship game. And I know, with Coach Burton, they were in the Argus sectional brawl a lot. So, I mean, they're always pretty good. They're in our sectional too, right? This year, I believe, on there. So, the history, I am happy that we're in a conference now, and then we won conference back in 2022. I blabbered on about Winamac. I like Winamac soccer, especially the history. What do you know about it other than what I just told you? I'm blabbering.
Pretty much, I learned a lot right now, which I appreciate. I'm very new to living in Winamac. Although I've been in abroad for 6 years. Mm-hmm. I've only lived full time for the last couple of years.
Right.
So I've been learning little by little about soccer in Winamac. But like I said, I played all my life. Unfortunately, an injury took me out of the game when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I started coaching right after. My little kid was still, my firstborn I had him in the backpack when I started.
There you go.
6-year-old.
Oh, I love it. Well, heck, I'm super excited that you're a third soccer coach. No big deal.
Yeah.
That's amazed me too. I didn't know that Burton was coach number 2.
Yeah.
And you're number 3. That's awesome. We're super excited that you're a Winamac Warrior coach. That's awesome. Now let's shift our focus to your current team, Coach. I understand last year you lost 2 seniors, one of them being our leading scorer in Burton. I looked, he was in Class 1A, he was ranked 20th in most goals scored. It was 18. I thought that was That was pretty cool. And so your season starts next Thursday, right? That I know.
Yeah, the
Scrimmage.
game is a scrimmage.
Yeah.
The official game is on the 19th.
Yeah. So next, what was that? Yeah, 19th at home.
Yes.
Yeah, which that will be fun against Delphi. So let's talk about your current team though, and who you're really excited about so far that you've seen.
Oh, well, I'm excited about all of them right now.
There you go.
They all very positive, lots of energy. They all have their qualities one way or another. Obviously, we have some great players, Sean being one of them, but definitely there's potential on everybody, right? And one of the things we're focusing is in foot skills, technique, and the understanding of the field, right? You got to know where you got to be, but you got to be able to control the ball, pass the ball, and eventually score. So everybody has really good potential, but we got to continue working with all of them.
Love it. I saw a little bit driving by. You guys really getting after some kind of fun drill that looked fun. I don't know what it was, but it looked like everybody was engaged. Everyone was getting after it.
Which is something I love about these kids. If they all put it all.
Yeah.
Even the ones that are struggling, you see them, they're giving it all, right? So,
Awesome.
So that we got great potential.
Good to hear. Summer activities. What did your summer look like during for your athletes?
We started with a lot of open field practices. In June, it was just a couple of days a week, or maybe an hour and a half or so. We had between middle school and high school between 11 and 12 players at a time, so it wasn't bad. July we brought it up to 3 times a week.
Okay.
Started seeing a little bit more players in. And the last week, it was nice to see just almost all the high school guys were in, and today they were all in.
It looked like a bunch out there. And now you have some a middle school squad, right? Which was that happened last year. It was the first year. I was super excited about that. I know I mentioned that in one of the last episodes. Baseball, Evan middle school program, and now soccer. Fantastic. And that kind of moves on to your fundraisers and your feeder program. And I know the YMCA, the Wellness Center that you mentioned earlier, you can technically call that your feeder program because I know my kids are involved in the fall and spring soccer leagues. They absolutely love it. And, back in the day, you did that through 5th grade, but then in middle school, you went off and go do, cross country or football or some other sports. Now you have soccer. They can continue to add that on, which I absolutely love. That's why it's important to have a middle school program. But a feeder program in any fundraisers that you want to talk about.
For sure. We're talking to the YMCA to understand how do they start their programs and then have a connection with them.
That's awesome.
At one point, we'll get more involved. Yeah, but we're still in talks.
That's awesome.
When it comes to other activities, we're also working on all those. We don't have anything set up yet.
Right. But like I said, with the wellness center, having them do that and you working with them do that, that's awesome stuff. So let's dive into your goals. I know last year, your team didn't achieve as many wins as I'm sure you guys would hope. But however, it's a brand new year. New players like the guy sitting right next to us, possibly stepping up, going into new roles. And so let's talk about your goals for the upcoming 2024 season.
Well, goal number 1 is make sure that they all learn more about the game of soccer, right? And they got to start not only being able to play it, but love it, right? So that they come back and they have the energy and the
passionate about it,
right? Yeah, they love it. You have to have a passion, and then with that passion, it's going to be the commitment that is going to be built by the players,
right?
And that's what we're going to be building on. I know everybody is anxious to start seeing wins, right. But the main goal always is what do the players get out of it?
Right.
How much can they learn, and what can they take And if some of them want to play college, help them to get to that level, right?
Love it. Love it. You get them, if you get them to, lock in, mentally and passionate. And I absolutely love that. I like that. That's one of your main goals. Love it.
Yep.
Hey, well, Coach, we did it. I want to say thank you for taking the time to join me today, introducing your squad, your background, offering insights in your life. Before we wrap it up today, do you have any last words or comments?
Well, I'm really pleased to be part of this team, and I got high expectations on every single one of the players. I know they're all going to learn a lot more.
Right. Well, I'm absolutely happy that you're the head coach now. I mean, we're Winamac. I know I'm just one person, and I can be passionate about a lot of things, but from what we've talked about just now, I enjoy my popcorn mentally, and I feel like you're going to be a great fit for this program. I do believe that. So, hey, thanks a lot, Coach. That was Coach Carlos Badillo, the head coach for the Winamac Warrior soccer team. Stay tuned, because that will not be the last time we hear from him on this show. We'll definitely have him back, possibly before or after their first game against Delphi. Don't go away just yet. After a brief word from one of our sponsors, we'll be back with our athlete spotlight of the day. I'm Justin Ruff, and you're doing it. You're listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast.
It's time for the Warrior Athlete of the Day. Let's return to the voice of the Winamac Athletic Podcast, Justin Ruff.
Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in to the 4th episode of the Winamac Athletic Podcast. Today, we're absolutely thrilled to welcome a member of the Winamac soccer team, Sean Stark. Stark, thank you so much for joining us today. How's it going?
Going good. Thank you for having me.
Hey, no problem. I don't put any pressure on you, but you are the very first male athlete to be on this show, and you are also the first underclassman to be on this show. No big deal. Be proud of that, Stark. No big deal.
All right.
As a sophomore, though, at Winamac, would you mind sharing all the sports that you are currently involved in?
I play soccer, obviously, and then for winter I play basketball. But then I don't. For spring, I just go back to soccer. I don't do any other sport for Winamac.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
So just soccer and basketball.
Right.
Good sports. No big deal. Let's get real a little bit today. It's the real moment, I like to call it. Coach Badillo staring you down. No big deal. What is your favorite sport? I think we know this, though. Right?
Yeah, my favorite sport, soccer.
Soccer. Is it close or?
No, not at all.
Now, your brother played soccer and basketball, right? He didn't do a spring sport, did he? Was he in track?
He was in soccer again.
He was in soccer, so similar to you.
Yeah,
Are you, that's another big time question. Are you better than him in those sports?
of course.
Of course. I love it. I love the confidence. No big deal. Let's switch gears and talk about your summer activities, Starks. What sports activities were you involved in this summer?
I wasn't in a sport. I just I would train on my own with soccer. I would just do soccer. I was in basketball. We had our little practices and stuff.
It's great. Did you go to any camps and stuff for basketball and stuff?
No, but I went to a lot of soccer camps.
Love it. So you stayed active
Yeah.
in those sports. Love to hear it. Good to hear. Let's shift our focus to your current team. Like I mentioned with Coach Badillo, you lost some leadership with Burton, but also you were second on the team in goals. You were also second on the team in assists. No big deal. So, with those leadership roles, to be filled, besides yourself, of course, who do you see really stepping in, filling in some of those, goal scoring or assist roles for this upcoming year?
Yeah, I see Jabin Hines. He'll step up, and I'm hoping to get Ryland Craig up there and some of the freshmen, get them settled in.
Love it.
Hopefully they can settle in.
I know Craig's in your class, right? He's a
Right.
sophomore, and Hines is too.
Right.
Heck, Hines led the team in assists.
Yeah.
So that's why you guys are best buds, right? Give me the ball, Hines. Right?
Exactly.
I love it. All right, let's dive into our question portion of the show. No big deal. Always fun. Don't look at my paper. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. All right. And some of them might be hard. No, actually, they're all easy. They're all easy questions, but they're fun. Okay. What is your favorite Disney movie? Disney movie. You've watched Disney movies, right?
Yeah, I've
Okay,
watched
of course. What's your favorite Disney movie?
Cars.
Ooh, that's a good one. You know that one, Coach? No, Cars. I like that. Just just like Cars or what?
No, I don't know. I just like watching it. It's
It's
fun
a
to
good
watch.
movie.
I watch it a lot.
Now they've had sequels of those, right?
Yeah.
But the first one is the best one.
Right.
Okay, I agree. What is your favorite song that you listen to before you have a game? So pump up to get the start brain flowing. Well, it can be a song or it can be, a singer, Taylor Swift. I don't know. Wait, she's good. I mean, like any song or singer that you sing that gets you going.
I don't know. I listen to Lil Uzi Vert, or
Okay.
sometimes, depends on the mood, Zach Bryan.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good mood song. No big deal. Let's go Olympics. Olympics, you're going on. No big deal. Very fun to watch. Other than the sports that you are in, so other than soccer and basketball, what is your favorite Olympic sport to watch? You watch Olympics right now, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I like to watch the men's 100-meter dash.
That is fun.
Yeah.
Did you watch last night?
Yeah.
That was a good one. In fact, that was a fun one. I don't really have a sport on there that I don't like watching. I've been catching myself watching badminton. No joke. Badminton, ping pong, I've been watching those. With the swimming's always fun and beach volleyball, everything's fun. Just cheering on the USA. But I like yours with track. That's pretty awesome. Favorite sports movie?
Sports movie?
There's a lot of them. I thought about it. I don't mind, but mine's pretty easy. But your favorite sports movie?
Thunder. I think it's called Thunderstruck. It's with
KD?
yeah, Caden.
Okay.
That's a good one.
All right. You KD fan or
Yeah.
like
I like
some
KD.
You don't think LeBron's better?
LeBron's better.
Okay, there you go. Good answer. It's like last one, no big deal. I've sold this one from the last one, but I thought I kind of like it. An unknown fact that not a lot of people know about you that you can do, or I mean, I don't know. Do you have 11 fingers? Does your skin glow at nighttime? Anything like that? Anything that's interesting that not a lot of people know about you?
I don't really know. I don't know.
An open book. Everybody knows everything about you.
No, but I don't know. I mean, not a lot of people know how many siblings I have, and
Okay, how many you got?
all that. 5.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I know. Heck, I coached one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more than I would want. All right, I'm sitting at 3. That's enough. Good for your parents. No big deal. That was easy, right?
Yeah.
That was fun. No big deal. Those were hard. Let's wrap it up discussing your season goals. Now we can throw, if you have a personal goal for soccer, we can throw that in there too. But any season or any team season or any personal goals you might have for this year.
This year I wanna make a run in conference and sectionals. I wanna do good in that, and I want our team I wanna see us like progress.
Love it. Get better.
Get better as individuals and as a team.
Right. Well, I mean, you just heard Coach Badaya. If you listen to what he says and be passionate about it, that will be successful. Absolutely. Hey, Stark, love it, man. Thanks a lot for spending the time with me today. Do you have any last words or comments for us?
I'm just excited for the season, and that's about it.
It's exciting.
Yep.
Excited stuff. Well, hey, thanks a lot. That was Sean Stark, sophomore for the Winamac soccer team. And who knows, perhaps later in the season, we'll have him back to chat about more about soccer or basketball that he is involved in. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after a quick word from one of our sponsors. Hey, you're doing it. You're listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast.
Action Plumbing and Heating. Their mission is to provide exceptional plumbing and HVAC services to Winamac and the surrounding communities. They are committed to delivering top quality workmanship, unparalleled customer service, and reliable solutions that ensure the comfort and satisfaction of their clients. They've been serving people since 1994.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining us for the 4th episode of the Winamac Athletic Podcast. We're super excited to share that our next episode will be airing next Tuesday, featuring one of our talented fall coaches, and the next coach will be the head coach of the Winnemac cross country teams, Coach Mikey Haschel, Hall of Famer. No big deal. He'll join us and explore his coaching journey, dive into the history of their sport, and introduce their roster and discuss their goals for the 24 season. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcast or Spotify, we kindly ask you to rate, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us reach a wider audience and keep everyone updated on our Warrior athletes. A big shout out, big thank you to Coach Badayo and Sean Stark for being our guests today. And also another shout out for Jeremy Shell, head coach for the Winnemac golf team, for sharing some moments there and keeping us updated on their first invite. Another huge shout out to Riverside Rentals and Action Plumbing and Heating for sponsoring this episode. If you're a business owner or interested in supporting our Warrior athletes, please reach out to us on social media. Your support means everything to these athletes. And with that, we've wrapped up our 4th episode, No Big Deal. It's been an incredible journey, and I'm truly honored and blessed to be the voice behind the Winnemac Athletic Podcast. Stay tuned for many more exciting episodes throughout the year. Once again, I'm Justin Ruff. You're listening to the Winnemac Athletic Podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Winnemac Athletic Podcast, sponsored by Riverside Rentals. Discover canoeing, kayaking, and lazy river tubing right here in Winnemac. Action Plumbing and Heating for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Been serving people since 1994. We'd like to thank our sponsors for supporting Winnemac Athletics and being part of the Winnemac Athletic Podcast.
Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe.